Oh, hey, welcome back. My name is John. This is the Vinyl Village Garage because we live in a vinyl village. This is a garage. I know, very clever name. But nonetheless, what we're going to work on here is Project GTO Judge. I normally have a clever name for most of the cars, like the Mockingbird, the Transmarata, the Great Pumpkin, and so on, Lamborghini. I just haven't nailed one down for this one yet, so I'm still working on it. But so we're just going to call it the Judge for now, so something one day will just pop in my head, or maybe you guys, gals, have a great recommendation. We're going to name this project. And again, we're not going to be able to probably finish the car entirely, but I'm going to get a good start on it. It's winter. It is cold as heck out here in my garage already. For Indiana, went from being in the 60s down to 16. That's cold. That's not warm. It's not good. But that's okay. We're going to tinker out here in the garage. But I did get to do some assessment here on this quarter panel. It's not good. I was hoping maybe to salvage it, but I'm not going to. And I'm going to show you here why. Then we're going to come up with a plan on how we're going to get this thing fixed. Well, let's get started into it here. Now, of course, this whole car, I'm going to get a little more of a guess of what I found. That storage unit, anything car related, myself and the other two people helped me, we just threw it in the car. I never actually went through all the parts, crazy enough. I just filled this thing up, the trunk is full, and just kind of threw everything in the car. This is one of the things we found, one of the original Ram air pans. Now, I can't guarantee it was to this car, but I can tell you it is for a GTO. But she's a little rusty and crusty. Probably not reusable, but makes some really cool wall art. And the other thing I was going through all the boxes, and this is my own fault, I found something really cool. See these little guys right here? The original pedals. So it's got a broken stud, but I'm pretty sure we can doctor that thing up. But I found them, but I missed them first go around because they're painted black. And if you look carefully underneath that black paint, though, guess what? There's some of that cool carousel red or orange, whatever world you live in. But here's the thing about it. These are definitely the original because they fit, as you can tell here, look at this. They fit real nice around it. And I've got some reproduction ones that have the correct style studs and the opening. They look pretty good. But when you go to put them in the spoiler, the gap isn't so fantastic. So I've got a couple of these. Both of them, I do not need them. So if you need a couple for your car or know somebody who does, then let me know. Work out a deal. Really good deal. But I'm going to recondition the original ones because I think they fit a lot better. And I know they're correct because this is an original Judge spoiler. We've already had some help identifying that. I'd like to reuse this piece. Trunk deck, that's a different story for a different day, but I'm probably going to end up scrapping it. So if anyone needs a trunk deck that needs work, it is a GTO Judge that has the holes inside the trunk lid too for the spoiler. So if you know if someone needs that, let me know. But let's get back to what we're messing with here. Quarter panel, right? I told you it was junk. Let me show you the why. Got the old trusty drill here. Gave her hell, cleaned all the putty along the seam line. Now, of course, they brazed it in, but they warped the heck out of the panel. There's some spots here that it's over a 1/4 inch thick of body filler, so that was not good. That was one of the reasons I wasn't excited about trying to salvage this. And see, I got body filler clear down to here, so it's just sculpt the car in a can kind of thing. So I don't like that. Now, I could cut this loose, hammer and dolly, and work it. If that was the only problem, maybe I would, but we have the rust hole here. We have where they brazed it in here. Not that great of a job. And the other thing they did when they cut it with I think they cut it with a torch, and then put it back together. They didn't even get the panel lined up. There's an inner structure, inner brace that goes inside this quarter panel. Hacked that in half and tried to braze it back together. Came to the door jamb. And inside here, what we find, just equally as crappy and bad. It was almost a 1/2 inch thick, and the brazing work was horrible. It doesn't even line up. So the door jamb itself, pretty tore up. There's actually some pretty solid dents in here. So I'm assuming this has some kind of collision damage. That's why they replaced the quarter panel. But that's all dented up here. I think that was from when the door hit it. But either way, I'm going to go ahead, and that's why those are the reasons why I'm thinking it needs a full quarter. We get down here. We have rust holes starting to fester here in the bottom. This is rushing through all the way across. That's inside out kind of rust. So that's going to be a pain in the butt to probably patch up. And then back here behind the wheel, massive dent. Again, hammer and dolly, probably get that straightened out. Might have been okay, but these are enough reasons to me that we're going to replace this quarter panel as opposed to repair it. Now, if we come around here to the back side, you can see purple, black, carousel red. This car is all painted carousel red. The factory put this little black in here and the back kind of covered it up, but you can see the orange poking through there. But they decided when they did this quarter panel to cut it through here and braze it in. Now, again, not the best alignment job. Doesn't look all that great. And the other problem was when I measure from here to here compared to the passenger side, I'm actually a 1/4 inch wider. The biggest clue is when I shut the trunk, I have a massive gap between the quarter panel and the trunk. So I'm going to need to actually cut this back out. Even though I put a quarter panel on, this doesn't come with it. Technically, actually, I guess I understand, they don't make a reproduction tail panel for these cars. So I need to salvage this. So, but since the weld job is so bad, I'm nearly off by a 1/4 inch. I'm thinking about just cutting that whole thing out, or that brazing out of it, then bringing it back together, line the panels up, and then weld it. And of course, I have to media blast all that rust out of here. So that is hopefully my plan for that. And I've got a little bit of doctoring here to do. And I'm hoping that I can get this thing squared away. So what I went ahead and did is press the easy button, order a quarter panel. Oh, check this out. See, even the inside of this is carousel. This has the holes for the trunk, but we just got a lot of rust back here. They put that fiberglass filler, I think, in it here, so it's could be salvaged, but I think I'm going to look into buying a repop trunk deck for it and see how good it is. But replacement quarter panel. I keep going off on tangents. I got so much fun happening all around. I can't stay focused. I got a new quarter panel. Not happy with it. I'd like to show you why. Now, I've got the quarter panel sitting in my parts room, pile in the corner, so to speak. But the inner bracing, I do like. This is bonus points. That bracing that was hacked real bad, it is included with this quarter panel. Thumbs up for that part, and that's where probably my excitement comes to an end. I was warned this area here may not be correct. It's going to need a lot of work. I did a quick little Mountain Dew box template. It seemed to line up pretty good in comparison to the factory one, so maybe I'm okay. But where it starts going sideways is, I don't like this here. Our trunk gap doesn't stay uniform. It kind of changes and fluctuates. I think I can work with that, but this here is definitely not right. The height that goes into the gutter for the weather stripping, this should be substantially taller. I don't have an exact measurement, but looking at it by checking the car, I'm probably over a 1/4 inch difference. So I'm going to have to cut this gutter off, swap it out, and put the one on the car back on it. The other part that is definitely not correct is back here. This stamping, I think, is for a 68, because even when I bought it, it's actually listed as 68, 69 quarter panel. But I think this is definitely 68. On the 69, it is not. There's not this much metal, because you guys see this. I'm laying it. I'll tip you up on the side here. This is the side of the car. This is our trunk. This is the drop off behind the bumper. This is the area behind the bumper, but you can tell it's damn near the length of my fingers here, right? We go back to the car. Yeah, not even close. Just my fingertips. So that is definitely not right. So I'm gonna have to cut this off, swap it, salvage it. And this is what I'm talking about. The trunk drop off in here, much more substantial. So it's gonna be a lot of work, but I'm gonna have to swap these parts out onto my brand new, keep in mind, with shipping, nearly $700 quarter panel. So there you have it, the Rusty Judge. I don't know if that's still the name yet or not, but working on the name. But nonetheless, rusty, busted, crusted, bent up car. I'm gonna start working on cutting this quarter panel off and see the surprises that I find underneath it. I know the wheel well here towards the back, the outer wheel well is not rusted, but you can see it's a little wrinkled here inside when I look in the trunk. So it's gonna need some massaging or some repair work. I'm gonna try my best not to replace it. I'm gonna try to keep as much original metal as possible. I know this quarter panel is original General Motors stamping, but it's not original to this car, so I'm not, I guess, heartbroken that I have to replace it. I would like to have salvaged it, but I still think my replacement quarter panel is gonna be the way to go. We just gotta do some modification. So next go around, I'm gonna show you how to lob this thing off, get it cut out of the way, and then we'll come up with a plan to salvage and retain some of these pieces to make it look and fit better than how that quarter panel comes. Again, not super happy with it. I know I don't complain too much about sheet metal, but in this case, I'm just kind of, I don't love it. It kind of reminds me of stuff you'd see 20 years ago, just mediocre stamping. So unfortunately, I don't know the brand on that. There was no sticker, no tag. I ordered it from Summit. It doesn't say OER, it doesn't say AMD. I can't even find the made in Taiwan little gold sticker on it. So I have no idea where that thing actually came from. So if anyone else has bought full quarters for the 68 or 69 GTO, or actual real 69 GTO quarter panel, let me know what brand they are. I may I don't know if I have time, but maybe I'll do some more research. But I was hoping for a home run when I bought that, but whatever, it is what it is at this point. So nonetheless, rambled enough. I'm gonna work on getting this thing cut out. That's gonna be the next video, how to get this thing off the car without butchering it more. Then we're going to repair the trunk jam and the seams and where they cut that in section. And we're going to clean this thing up and make it to where it doesn't look like, or make it so obvious that it was repaired. And you know, I understand you got to do what you got to do, and it's maybe some old ways, but a torch really isn't the best tool for cutting a car apart. All right, so anyway, that's going to do us this go around. I got plenty of stuff to work on, so plenty of footage coming your way. And if anyone needs these little pedestal mounts, let me know just the same. Appreciate you following me on the journey here at the Vinyl Village Garage. I will definitely grab the camera, and we'll catch you guys and gals next time.